I'm week 2, healing while, mild complication, tube ligation, full fallopian tubes removed, never had kids, 2 miscarriages, and I'm really looking forward to like going back to a normal life again. So I am 12 days post-op. I had my tubal ligation, full fallopian tube removal surgery, April 25th, 2017. 12 days post-op. I tried to ask Siri, but she didn't understand what I was talking about, so I had to go to timeanddate.com. Saturday, or Friday, so May 4. May 4, I woke up 8 o'clock in the morning with chest pain, all on my right side, right here. Heartbeat, chest pain, couldn't breathe. Took a while for me to get my heartbeat and stuff running. I already had my doctor's appointment scheduled for that day anyway, so I go to my doctor and I was really wanting her to check out my stitches because my belly button is not my normal belly button. I'm really glad I went to my doctor on my own to do a follow-up. My surgeon doesn't want to see me for 6 weeks, so right now, my family doctor is like my best ally right now because she set up the surgery, she set up the referral, she asked me all the questions, she wanted to make sure it's the right option for me, and she's been my doctor since I was 18 years old. I'm 32, so she's like family. The whole thing of experiencing chest pain and not, at the time I didn't know what it was. I mean, it didn't feel like a panic attack, it didn't feel like I had a nightmare. I didn't feel like any of those things. So chest pain just felt like chest pain. But then I also went through the whole winter of a cold, that was bronchitis-like, where I had chest pain with that. So I just assumed I was going through allergies and a cough and just feeling shitty that I had allergies. I didn't really link symptoms to the fact that I'm still post-op in my surgery, that I could experience symptoms in my surgery. So you have to understand that coming out of surgery was very easy for me. I didn't have a lot of pain. I had mild bleeding and it went away in like a day or two. Like, yeah, so the link of I had surgery and my body processing that I had surgery and then like accepting I had surgery was not happening for me in the first week of my surgery. My doctor, she checks my heart rate. She does this oxygen thing, and she's worried. So right away, she's like, go to the hospital. And I'm like, why am I going to the hospital? Because, again, didn't really process that this could be something about my surgery and, you know, symptoms and side effects and complications. Didn't think of it. Did not think of it at all. So I go to Mount Sinai, and I go to admitting. Then admitting was like, maybe you should go to emerge. So that in itself, I really didn't want to do, because going through those steps is, you have to kind of admit there's a problem, especially when you're not like rushed into an ambulance. It's you on your own. You see a doctor, your doctor says go to the hospital. I've never had that happen before, so I don't know how else to like tell you that, because the whole thing is just scary. The whole thing is just freaking scary. I know I have to go to the hospital. Regardless, I go to the hospital, the doctor needs to do what she does. She's worried for a reason. I trust her. I do the thing, I go to the hospital, and so that's what, 11 o'clock in the morning, there at the hospital for 6 to 7 hours. Yeah. And the thing about the chest pain, because it was a one-time event of the chest pain and getting to the hospital, they run their tests. They run the EEG, then they run X-ray, then they run blood work, and then because my chest X-ray, regular X-ray, where like it's black and white, that X-ray showed calcification on my right lung. They want to know what that really is, which means the next step is a CT X-ray. CT X-rays are a little terrifying if you're not used to being in small confined spaces. I am. Small spaces don't bother me. It's the process of this particular x-ray. There's radiation involved, there is a dye they have to inject in you, and then the dye itself has possible side effects. And then because I moved in the first scan of this x-ray, we had to do it again. So blood work came out of this arm. This arm still hurts. This arm does not hurt. This arm still hurts. My right arm still hurts. This is right. My right arm still hurts because the IV went into this arm. And the guy who did my IV, oh my God, he has no confidence whatsoever when it comes to drawing blood. If you are a nurse or a lab technician and you draw blood and you have a person that has dry, rolly veins, you better have confidence in what you're doing. You're gonna freak us out. I'm not scared of needles. I just need a technician that knows what they're doing, gets in, gets out, and done. And the less pain on me, the better. The technician did the IV. He did his little fancy loop thing with tape on it. He was so proud of it. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't care. So then they roll me into the CT x-ray room. It's this giant coffin machine thing that looks like you're traveling to space. But it has like nice pictures on the ceiling of like scenery, trees, and clouds and stuff. It's real nice. Mount Sinai does good with their money. It's just the dye. The girl's like, you're gonna feel burning sensation, you're gonna feel the sensation of pee, and it's gonna feel like you're on fire. The way she described it was like mild symptoms of those things. The first shot of it was like, oh my God, yeah. So I'm trying to breathe, I'm screaming, they hear me in the microphone, and yeah. But then I moved, or I gasped for air, because you have to hold your breath at the same time so they can see the dye go through, so they can see everything that's happening. Yeah, it didn't work out too well the first time, so we did it again. Did it a second time, it didn't burn as much. Pee sensation, that was nuts. That was just nuts, because yeah. We did that. I waited like an hour again for results. They came back, and there's just weird, annoying, benign fluid hanging around my lung. Yeah. But all their tests that they run, everything is negative, everything's normal, they can't find anything, they sent me home. Then I'm thinking oxycodone is my culprit, because I went, checked, I read the pamphlet of the side effects for oxycodone, and mild chest pain is one of them. But then also the tuber ligation, spinal removal of my fallopian tubes, chest pain is also a potential side effect. So either way, chest pain, doesn't matter what it is, whether you think it's temporary or not, see your doctor, go to the emergency room, do what needs to be done so that way you know it's not serious. And now I see my doctor on Monday. The stitches are still in, but the stitches are interfering with my belly button. I have an outie belly button that looks like a star. Find pictures of it somewhere to show you. The thing about my belly button is that it really does not like the stitches. It does not like the stitches. So, Monday, stitches get removed. Then I will ask the doctor about sex, because according to websites, I could have sex like a week after surgery, which I'm kind of looking forward to because I'm used to having sex on a weekly basis, because I have a person in my life that does that for me, and I really, really miss him. About tube ligation and having your tubes removed or tubes tied or clipped or banned, you really need to be self-aware of who you are. This is not something you jump into lightly because you think it's some fun, cool thing to do. It is literally deciding your family planning future. Whether you have kids already, you want to stop having kids, or you're in a situation like me where you know that pregnancy is not something you want to experience. I am not interested in going through pregnancy because my trauma overrides the experience of wanting to have pregnancy. That's it. And it's just so strong for me where I don't want to experience it. And right now, also, I'm dealing with my mother, who's dying to have grandbabies, and I'm her firstborn, so she assumed I would be the first one to give her grandbabies, and she's not talking to me. Even with going through my emergency room scare the other day and texting her and trying to keep her up to date and trying to like keep her in the loop, and then actually getting on the phone and talking to her, she really don't talk to me. She really don't hear about it. She actually has this theory that I'm defiling my body because it's against God and nature. So when she's on this real Bible kick right now, and it's not about that for me. Religion has nothing to do with if I'm going to be a mother that experiences pregnancy and labor, delivery, and all that stuff. It's not, no, just not gonna happen. I'm still processing this. I'm still trying to live through this. I'm still trying to plan what's gonna happen next. So great, I'm not going to experience pregnancy. I'm gonna be able to have as much wonderful sex as I like, and based on my knowledge of tubal ligation, full fallopian tube removal, chances of pregnancy is like down to like 100% effective. And I really hope the next stage of my life, because you know I have like what 20 more years of reproductive years before I go through menopause. I'm hoping they go through smooth. I really am. I'm really just give me a smooth transition of the next womanly stage my body is going to go through, because I really don't want to push out a baby. I don't want to see the sick turn blue. I don't want to go through morning sickness. I don't want to see ultrasounds. I don't want to hear heartbeats. That is just not for me. And if you know that about yourself, then you should do whatever you can to make sure your plans are not interrupted. Because if you're a person that knows you don't want to have a child and you don't want to experience pregnancy, you really should make those plans. You really should not go in not doing any preventative measures and then get pregnant and then be surprised and then go through that whole thing, because it sucks. It does. It really does suck. Like, it's not even about like being career focused. It's about what quality of life do you want for yourself. And that's the place I'm at right now. What quality of life do I want to have for myself? Where do I want to spend my time? What do I want to experience? Who do I want to experience it with? And what things I want my body and mind to go through. And pregnancy is not one of them. If you're on the fence or you're unsure, keep your options open. There's other contraceptive methods that are open window, like IUD, like diaphragm, like Depo-Vera, the birth control pill. Those are things you can look into as options for you. If they're not options for you, then you need to work with the whole just don't have sex. Like, that's just how it is. Like, the whole female bodies and how we're almost feels like we're a ticking time bomb. And every month we go through the cycle, and if a sperm reaches that egg, yeah, you have a baby. I don't want that. So for me, there is no sperm reaching anywhere. It's very freeing and it's very good for me, and I feel so much relief for that. And I'm really happy I can share this with you, because I don't know who else to talk about this frustration that I'm going through. I mean, yeah, there's my friends, but they really don't get it, and unless they're on the camp where they don't want kids, the ones who are on the camp that want kids, they just don't understand what it's like to be in the camp of not wanting kids. And luckily, the internet has people with so many other opinions and thoughts and things like that, where, yeah, I'm in that journey with you. I am. So yeah, this is me, recovery 2, going into week 2, feeling really good about it. Can't wait till my stitches are gone, and I will see you on the next one. Smooches! Okay, so I mentioned my belly button a lot, because that was the plan of what my doctor is supposed to be doing, was my belly button. So I thought maybe, if you're not too squeamish, that you might be interested in understanding what I'm talking about. If you are squeamish about this and you're not really into the whole TMI full story disclosure business, this would be a good place to stop watching the video now. And for privacy reasons and to keep my life, I will not be showing you the doctor take out my stitches. I don't think I have the willpower of doing that, of holding a camera while a doctor digs around my belly button to take out stitches. I may show you a picture of the results of my belly button after, because to see my belly button go back to normal will be nice, because I miss my original belly button. I really do. So yeah, so here's what's happening. I know, we should have music. So there's the belly button. Here is, where is it? Yeah, here's this stitch. This one didn't close right. It didn't close properly in the beginning. Now it did. Now it did. It's all scabbed over. It doesn't hurt. Probably a little bit bloated, but I don't know. Yeah, that one, it's doing good too. Then the belly button. Yeah. I got yellow stitches, I got dark stitches, and my it's doing this dry skin flaky thing, and I don't like it. I really, really do not like it. So we're gonna take care of this on Monday, and I'm really, really happy about it, because once this is gone, I think I'll be cleared and good to go about having sex. Plus, I'm very self-conscious about it. I really am. And yeah, this is what's happening.